morning, one and all. I do hope you're well. I really, really do. Right, this is an early morning one for me today. I thought I would record it just before going to work. Yesterday it was turning out to be not a bad day, or not such a bad day. And then at 6 o'clock, it just got all very, very, very sad. For me, anyway, on a personal level. And it was down to the BBC News. The BBC News started rolling at dead on 6 o'clock, and the picture on the screen there, right at the front of the news, was Steve Wright. And I thought, well, it can only be one thing, can't it? You know, he's obviously passed. And obviously, as we now know, he had 69 as well. I mean, I thought to myself, God, that's no age. I mean, I'm thinking it because I'm fast approaching it. I'm thinking, God, 69, is that all? And I just couldn't believe it. I didn't see it coming. Obviously, nobody did. He obviously didn't himself, I wouldn't imagine, but just so sad. I've not heard yet what he died of, you know, what the cause was. It may have been natural causes. It may have been in his sleep. I do hope it was. I have read one report somewhere yesterday evening saying somebody who works with him or knew him well thought, he looked okay recently when he spoke to me, asked how he was, and he said, well, I've got a few doctor's appointments. He said, but other than that, he said he didn't expand on things, and I never thought, never had anything into it. So whether he had an illness of sorts or not, I don't know. I do know over the last sort of few months, at the time when he lost his job on Radio 2, I seen more recent pictures of him, and I was shocked by how he looked, because he looked like he put on a lot of weight. I don't know if that was just down to eating. I mean, sometimes when you put that kind of weight on it can be down to a cancer, or it can be down to is it lungs when you need dialysis? Do you put on a lot of weight then? I think you do. I may be wrong. I don't know if he had some bad health problem or not. I really, really don't know. But he had put on some weight. But no, with not knowing he was ill, it was a shock. And as I say, 69 to me in this day and age isn't an age. When I was a kid, you got in your 60s, you would do really well. You know, blokes in the 50s were considered old men. In the 60s, they aren't so anymore. But I just obviously didn't see it coming, and I was just gutted. I like Steve. I've grew up with Steve for many a year. He's probably my favourite radio presenter over the last 30, 40 years. I've got a good friend, a really good friend, and she's spot on with most people she does and doesn't like, and she's got an ear on comedy, and I pretty much fall in with everything she says. She's the lady that not put me in touch, because I don't want anything to do with him, but once told me, oh, Dave, you're right about Paddy McGuinness, he's crap. I've seen him, he was crap. I've seen about 30, 40 comedians, by far and away the worst. So, I mean, I always knew that anyway, but she confirmed it. But I do know she's not a lover of Steve Wright, and I've never understood that, because I just don't know how anyone could dislike him. I thought he was great. You know, on Radio 2, his afternoon shows, I used to love it. I didn't always catch it, and sometimes I'd always catch bits from it, and that was because I used to work, you know. There's been many a year I've worked from a car. There's been many a year I've worked from an office, or from home. When I work from a car, I tend to try and catch bits of his show. I used to always do my best to listen at 2 o'clock to see who the guests of the day were, try to find out when they were on, and try to move my working day around towards a guest that I might really like. If someone was coming on at, say, 25 to 5 and I really liked them, I'd try to be there for that. Didn't always work, but I would try it. But I love Steve, I really did. The old factoids, loved the factoids. Thought it was a nice part of the show. I just liked him. I liked the team. They all seemed to get on really, really well with him. I mean, Chris Evans on the other show has his team, but I don't know, sometimes I feel with the Chris Evans team, they're all a bit up Chris's backside and having to do what they told and keep in line and massage his ego. I didn't get that feeling with those that worked on Steve Wright's show. I just thought he was great. You know, I was absolutely gutted when he lost the gig at Radio 2. I thought they were absolutely stupid to get rid of him. I really did. I think I did something on it 9 months ago when the show first started. Was it Scott Mills they give it to? Some jodrell from Radio 1. Can't say I really knew him at Radio 1, but I knew it would tank. And I think it did initially. Maybe it picked up a little bit, but that was stupid move number 1. And then they decided to make stupid move number 2 and get rid of old Ken for your man, the tall fella from Bolton, Vernon Kay. He's another crackerjack. But no, I can't believe Radio 2 ever got rid of him. You know, I mean, I know he was getting older, but still, he was still vibrant. He was still youthful for his age. He was still entertaining. He was still great at what he did. I would suggest over the last 10 years there's probably not been a better radio presenter on any show in Great Britain. So why one of the big radio stations will get rid of the best out there just, for me, defies logic. I was hearing last night that he lived it. You know, he used to go in all morning and get all the show ready, all prepped, and then all afternoon record his show. It was like a full day job with him, when it wasn't with most of the day DJs. But he put his heart and soul into it. I mean, I didn't know that. But I just thought he was great. You know, I remember him at Radio 2. Obviously, I was getting older then when he was at Radio 2. But I remember him then as being my favourite. And that was at a time when they had all top DJs throughout all programming. I've just always liked him, and I was just gutted he's gone. I heard something only about 3-4 weeks ago, funnily enough. He did a special on Barry Humphries. Sadly, obviously, Barry passed earlier on last year, and obviously we did something on him. We've done a couple of things on him because I love Barry as well. And Steve Wright did a 1 hour special, like a homage to Barry Humphries. It was brilliant. If you've not had a chance to listen to it, go and have a listen on the Sounds app. It'll no doubt be there. It was really good, really enjoyed it. And I did recommend an air over Christmas time that Peter Kay was going to do a 1 hour special on Radio 2, and he was doing it with Steve Wright. Now, I've recommended it and said everyone should listen to it. I still haven't myself. I've never got around to it. It's been Christmas time. I've been like up to here, and I've not had the chance to listen to it. But now I've made up my mind, sometime this week I'm going to listen to that. I'm sure it'll be on the Sounds app, and I like Peter Kay as well, but I loved Steve Wright, and it's probably one of the last things he's done on radio, so I'm going to have a listen to that. But just sad to see him go. Really, really, really sad to see him go. Honestly, I was gutted last night. I still am this morning. As I say, I didn't listen to him daily, you know, and most days, he was on 5 days a week. Sometimes I only listened to 15 or 20 minutes of his show, but he was one of them guys that always made me, when I turned the car back off and got out the car, I felt a bit more upbeat, a bit more of a spring in my step, because I just enjoyed him. He sort of had that way about him. It's funny, I listened to Pick Up the Pops on a Saturday. I don't have a chance to listen to it live, because all my days about recording or watching sport on a Saturday. But anything from the 70s, I always record the 70s hour from Pick Up the Pops. And I think they were on about 74 or 77 this Saturday. And I've already set the old Skybox there to record that. Whether he's already recorded it, whether it's been done or not, I don't know. Maybe he does it this week. So maybe it won't be done now. Maybe somebody will step in because he's died. I honestly don't know. But just sad. Just absolutely gutted. So anyway, Steve Wright, wherever you are, I hope you're in a good place. I hope you're in a better place. I hope there is a place. I hope there's a place for all of us. If there is a place, you'll no doubt be entertaining people up there already, because all you were all about was entertaining. You really were. Seeing the Jeremy Vine tribute to you last night, I think he's done a couple. He did a 3-minute one and a 9-minute one. Many call Jeremy Vine, but I watched the 9-minute one. I thought it was really heartfelt. It was really good. If you've not watched it, people watch that. It was on YouTube last night. I really enjoyed that. Said nothing but good about you, and you know, you knew it was genuine. So anyway, Steve Wright gone, but certainly not forgotten. I'll always remember him. I liked him a lot. I really did. Anyway, Steve, R.I.P. my friend, R.I.P.